Halo 2. Halo 2 has been a wonderful experience of my childhood, so I wanted to encapsulate what makes Halo 2 vastly unique from other Halos, and there is a lot. To begin, and most noticeable, is the overall mood of the game. Once you cast your eyes upon the beginning of the campaign, you can clearly see the major upgrade in graphics from Halo 1. Immediately, and most noticed throughout Halo 2, is the hyper-realism of units. These Marines at the beginning of the game look like real-life Marines, in the olive drab and common military gear seen in real life. Compare this to the gray teched-out, futuristic Marines from Halo 1. This eyepiece is not commonly seen in real life, or the Halo 3 Marine with hopeful, futuristic armor design. This hyperrealism aspect in units is unique to Halo 2. This game seems to shift away from the previous and future seen more sci-fi-ish aspects of Halo, with modern real-life facets. Sure, aliens are a main part of this game, but they are still in character of realism. So, let's talk about the Covenant units now in Halo 2. Grunt. Now, to make the conversation more interesting, we will look at the vast units of the Covenant. Keep in mind the hyperrealism that I was talking about. Starting with the Halo 2 Grunt. This guy is extremely different from later Halo iterations, and this design is also seen in Halo 1, but Halo 2's graphics upgrade highlights this realism design in the game. Look at his mask. He has a rubberish armor piece helmet on his head, as well as black beady eyes, and his feet resemble elephant feet, using real-life elements. Now if we look at the Halo 3 Grunt, this one has glowing, exaggerated red eyes, no armor on his head, and his appendages look like rock mass, rather than mimicking anything biotic from real life. Definitely a major design change from Halo 2, and all future Halos seem to use this Halo 3 design to base off of. So, this Grunt is unique to Halo 2. Also, without their masks, the Halo 3 Grunt looks like a completely new species. Drone. If we look at the drone from Halo 2, clearly this unit is to represent an insectoid creature and first introduced in this game. Likewise, the design has magnificent iridescent armor like beetles have. Also, it does have glowing eyes, but these are consistent to its insect nature and not having a personality. Also, it has these spikes on its armor like insects have, such as caterpillars. Now let's compare it to the next Halo, Halo 3. You can see the Halo 3 drone has lost its iridescent armor, and actually lost a lot of detail and texture on the shell. As well, it has a less detailed fleshy underarmor, not so much resembling an exoskeleton anymore. It has also lost the insect-like spikes, overall losing this true insect-like characteristics and true to nature realism design. You can see the Halo 2 iteration was much more reminiscent of realistic characteristics seen in the real world. Once again, future Halo iterations discarded the Halo 2 design and built off of the Halo 3 design, losing the hyper-realistic qualities, making the Halo 2 drone design completely unique. Jackal. The Halo 2 Jackal was light years more detailed than Halo 1's. The Halo 1 Jackal had this goofy blue and orange skin color and big googly eyes. Clearly a creature from pure fantasy with little realistic aspects thought out. Meanwhile, the Halo 2 Jackal was completely redesigned with consistent and detailed humanoid-like skin and more proportionate, realistic eyes with pupils. And once again, this design was abandoned, and Halo 3 and future iterations seem to combine the pure fantasy of Halo 1 and a little realism from Halo 2. This is because mainly the eyes were reverted to the giant proportion and lack of clear pupils. As well, it now has a disproportionately elongated snout. Prophet. Undoubtedly, the Halo 2 iteration of the Prophet is very unique. Look at it. Everything is consistent and uniform. It's realistic. Now look at the Halo 3 Prophet. Its eyes are enlarged. For what reason? And its eye color is changed to the same orange as other species in Halo 3. As well, its skin is now this orange salmonish tint. It's not even necessarily more high quality than Halo 2. It actually loses detail because there is no hair on the chin. Look at this close-up of the Halo 2 Prophet. You can see tons of detail in the eye. For whatever reason, the Halo 3 Prophet follows the trend of exaggerated features in this very saturated color palette. Elites. The elites in Halo 2, again, are proportionate to nimble creatures, what they are supposed to be, and the Halo 2 elites are more or less more detailed versions of Halo 1. On the other hand, Halo 3 and onward, elites are more chunky and their face is vastly different again. Rather than black beady eyes, they are more detailed eyes, but the color has changed to this unrealistic neon orange. Also, the Halo 3 Elite has more elaborate armor, which is cool, but would not be consistent to war infantry, because there would be more resources put to armor that would likely be destroyed in battle. I think the term I'm looking for here is over-detailed. Also, the Halo 3 armor is just too smooth, while in Halo 2 the armor can be seen separately easily, and the undersuit is even more textured in Halo 2. Brutes. Halo 2 had the peak brute design. Sadly, like all other units, this design was abandoned and never seen again. So, I will explain how this design is unique. Looking at the Halo 2 brute, it is clearly a primal creature, and notice the fur patches on them, and his eye placement, and lack of armor. Now, the Halo 3 brute is very different, losing the patches of fur and now has a mohawk and goatee. Also, the eyes are more forward facing in the same strange bright orange color to Halo 3. I think the forward facing eyes give the brute a much more intelligent design, but this loses a main brute quality of primalness. Take a look at this artist's interpretation of a brute. This is what I would imagine the Halo 3 onward brutes would have looked like if they kept the original Halo 2 design. And here's a render of a modern brute design that is faithful to Halo 2 as well. So, to sum up, many of the Halo 2 characters have much more realistic designs, proportionate and nature representation wise. Also, heaps of Covenant designs are unique to Halo 2, and some evolved from Halo 1. Sadly, these unit designs are abandoned with Halo 2. On the other hand, Halo 3 and onward, designs are much more colorful, not proportionate, and just not as realistic. If any characters were omitted, it's because I didn't see significant difference from other Halos. Now, this documentary will shift to the gritty and warlike quality most exclusive to Halo 2. So, with the explanation of more realistic units in Halo 2, we will now shift to the game's warlike qualities. This part is easy to explain. Not everything is shiny and bloomy in Halo 2. This gives the environment more realism, therefore making the battles seem more lifelike. Compare this to Halo 3, where everything is bloomy, meaning it is more bright and blooming with light and saturation. All of the units look like rubber because they are so shiny, and there is a lot more unnecessary bright neon lights everywhere. Even with battle elements like Crush Phantoms, this still doesn't compete with the grittiness of Halo 2, and this gritty environment with more realistic units makes for an epic, dark, yet futuristic war game. Halo 3 and onwards seem to have shifted to the more sci-fi side of things with the entirety of this art style. Because not just the environment being bloomy in Halo 3 or the units having bright and exaggerated features, the same can be said for every vehicle and every weapon. Every object is like this. More tech, futuristic, but it strays away from realism. Halo 2 was the last of its kind, which made Halo into a realistic, gritty alien war game, just to have its character designs and overall feeling abandoned forever. Hopefully this mood will return in a future Halo title, because I much prefer it to the bright sci-fi fiction interpretation that Halo 3 and onward has adapted. Thank you. Halo 2.